Well, yeah.
Well,
Hello. Welcome.
to go into it.
Yeah. Welcome to the Organized Chaos podcast. This will be streaming on both the main Organized Chaos channel and the podcast channel. But after it's done streaming, you will only be able to find it on the Organized Chaos podcast channel. So if for some reason you need to watch it again, it is free. It is absolutely available to you. But you gotta go over to the Organized Chaos podcast channel. I have links all over the channel for it, and it will be right there for you, free to watch whenever you want. It's also available on most podcasting services if you just want audio version. Also, make sure to like and subscribe and follow.
Yes, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. Please, we'd love to hear from you.
Algorithm. Yes, the algorithm things are good. We like the algorithm.
And don't just watch the first few minutes of it either. Watch the full thing. You know, we stagger our way through a lot of stuff, mostly with a 95% success rate.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, it's almost a success. And what's amazing is that the podcast never has any technical issues. It's always seamless in every aspect.
Never.
This is
never.
I mean, we call it the best podcast in the history of the universe, and we only call it that because it's true. Like, there's no better way to describe this.
We'll do it live.
Yes.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Hey, this is Future Rob here, just doing some work here at the studio, working on these vlogs and podcasts. All these counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
When you stuck him with this world-destroying thing? It's called the Scarab. I had no idea it would activate. It has to choose you.
It's the siege. It's a goddamn siege. We're in the middle of a city, inside a police station.
What's your new one about?
It is about a guy who's a knight in shining armor, except he lives in a world where knights don't exist anymore.
Hey, hello.
Well, are we supposed to do this together?
No, I don't know.
It's too much work.
Oh, all right then. Hi. Hello. Yes. Today.
Hey, how are you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are
I am trying not to let my foot pain distract me too much, but yes. Except for a little foot injury at work, but not. If you see me occasionally wincing in pain, if you're watching the video version, that's probably it. But I'm okay.
Was it a forklift accident?
No. Oh God, that's terrifying. I've not had one of those.
No, like a pallet just dropped on your foot.
Oh, actually, I've had that happen so much that I have
or
shoes,
you were surfing on said pallet and somebody was operating it and they stopped and your foot got caught. Doesn't have to be like a beam.
I mean, that sounds terrifying, but like the first part sounds like potential fun.
like riding it like a surfboard while someone operates it.
Whee!
Even
And
though
I'm
there's
sure that's very
definitely
safe.
safety measures against that.
No, there's never any safety
No.
measures against that.
I mean, we've all watched the OSHA video. We know the
Yeah.
dangers.
There's nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, so I guess our little intro thing's not quite accurate because we're also on Bobby Quarter's channel. So
Yes, we are.
you can go check it out over there. And while you're over there, make sure to hit like all his videos, check him out, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. The algorithm stuff.
Yeah,
the algorithm stuff is so
tell
nice.
Tell me I don't do my research enough.
Yeah.
I'll make a full video of me lightheartedly reading hate comments.
Yeah. God, I could just turn my whole channel into that.
You could send them to me and I could lightheartedly read them.
just go through comment section of any critical drinker video. You'll
okay. Oh no, yeah. I'm there for the live chats, man.
It's fun. But you know what? We're not talking about critical drinker today. We are talking about we got Blue Beetle.
A movie
we're actually gonna do actual like film criticism instead of what he does, which is
opinions,
like semi film criticism, but mostly just being a jerk. Yeah, a grifter. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. You know, he might actually be able to do like decent film criticism if he didn't feel the need to constantly like shit on women and kind of shit on men who aren't like super macho essentially. So yeah. But yeah, we got Blue Beetle lined up. We got Assault on Precinct 13, which should be that's one I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Yeah,
I forgot about some key parts of that.
Yeah, and then we're looking at Denzel Washington's Equalizer. From 2014. Yeah, all in all, I would say a pretty good show.
Yeah, we don't have any news this week, do we?
Well, if there's something you want to go into, let me know. Yeah,
no, nothing that I.
Yeah, no, I'm literally just running from the theater to this podcast. So
yeah, nothing that I found like really noteworthy.
All right. Well, are we ready to dive into Blue Beetle then?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, fun fact. This movie, as far as I can tell, is pretty much bombing pretty hard. It did dethrone Barbie in its fourth weekend, but like just barely. It's suffering pretty much the same fate as all the other DC projects. And pretty much like all the other DC projects, kind of James Gunn's kind of gone out there and said, oh, well, this is kind of its own thing and could be in my universe. Which I feel like he's saying for all the movies that he's not done. And honestly, it does feel like Warner Brothers is just throwing out what they have left. All that being said, I thought this one was pretty goddamn good. What do you think, Bobby?
It wasn't bad, actually, for entry in the DCEU. It really wasn't that bad. I didn't know a lot about Blue Beetle going into it, so it was kind of all new to me. For the most part, I enjoyed the story. That surprisingly the CGI actually was very good in this.
Yeah,
like not one thing that made it look like, wow, like that's horrible. But this, I think they actually had their time to tell a really good story here.
Yeah. Well, for most part, like I'm not super familiar with Blue Beetle, and the version I'm familiar with was kind of like a goofier Batman version. Which I mean they reference that in this movie, so the Jaime Reyes version of Blue Beetle is definitely not what I'm familiar with. But I think this movie does a fantastic job kind of introducing him, giving him an origin story. I am terrible with this actor's name, but it's Miguel from Cobra Kai, who I think he's great in Cobra Kai, and it was great kind of seeing him get to take over in the lead role here. And
he was in Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
he was.
He's the main kid. Yeah, he's the main kid in Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Wow. I can't.
No, he's a good actor in my opinion.
Yes.
I think what really holds this movie together for me, like, I guess we'll go through basic story before I go through like more detailed stuff. But essentially, the story is, Miguel. Hamey is just getting back from college. He's the first member of his family to graduate college. He's going back to his family only to find out they're soon losing their home. And, he's just looking for a job and hoping to make enough money that they can save their home. And he's having no luck at all. He ends up working as like a janitor, I guess. Maybe not janitor, but just cleaning services for this
housekeeper.
Yeah, housekeeper. Yeah, for this
super rich Sharon Susan Sarandon.
Yes, yeah, and there he encounters her. At first, I thought it was her daughter or granddaughter, but I guess it's her niece.
Yeah.
And she gives him like this experiment, this blue bug looking thing, and it decides to bond with him, and he becomes a superhero. That's kind of the basic of the story. Obviously you get the dynamic where Susan Sarandon's the big, she's the rich villain against the poor family, and that's a good dynamic. And I think what really sells this movie for me is the family. Like, these are just like 6 characters, and they're all kind of introduced at once, and you find yourself like caring for them very, very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was even concerned, like, I thought, like, I've never been a huge fan of George Lopez, and even in this, I liked him.
Yeah, I loved him in this. He was great.
Yeah, he was fun in this. Yeah. The whole family is great, and yeah, you get attached to him very quickly. It's just, and that's really kind of the anchor for me with this movie. It's just a damn good movie. You might forgive me. My thoughts aren't as formed as normal. Like I said, I literally just came from the theater watching it, so I'm like running in and yeah, but yeah.
So, I can tell you this much. Did you see the grandma coming through and being like the most badass member of the family aside from Jamie?
Not at first, but then I saw that. Then we got glimpses, and it's like, oh, she's gonna be a badass, isn't she?
And then just you see her open the gun cabinet and smile, and then she found something she likes. Then you see what she had, and it's like, okay. And then she made the battle plan, and then one day
it's like
really
the high
talk about your one day we really have to talk about your revolutionary days.
Yeah, it's like this high tech Gatling gun, essentially. Yeah, and there's that great line about one day Grandma will tell you about her revolutionary days, and it's like, holy shit.
That one, I think, could we get a movie about that?
I kind of want
like
a prequel movie now.
Just a short of that. That'll just.
But I guess. I love that. I love the family. I love like I said, you do see little like hints of like the old school Blue Beetle, the one I was a bit more familiar with. I wasn't super, like, I knew of him essentially. They essentially talk about how he's kind of like Batman but a bit crappier. His devices, they work, but they're a bit more finicky. His costumes are definitely more colorful, and I like seeing those corny Blue Beetle costumes there.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
And kind of the idea, and I don't know if it's comic book accurate, but like the idea here was kind of like they had that Blue Beetle scarab. It bonded with somebody who was the Blue Beetle, who was friends with the Blue Beetle, so he was kind of aped his style. And that's kind of why the looks are similar. But yeah, it's yes, I am here now. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. And James Gunn has come out pretty much and said, like, pretty much every DC movie that comes out now is the new beginning of his DCEU or DC movie universe. And honestly, like, this is a bomb. I don't think it's going to be it. I think this is going to be one and done. Unfortunately, I would like to see more of this story. So who knows? Maybe James Gunn will be sympathetic and give it a sequel, but I highly doubt it. I think we're probably not going to get the real introduction. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the real introduction to his DC universe until he does probably Superman Legacy. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I thoroughly thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was a good one.
It was definitely better than Black Adam.
Oh, dude, like don't know
Yeah.
if there was a better DC movie. This is probably my favorite DC movie since the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I can't think of one that I like more. DC, honestly, like they haven't been fantastic overall with their movies, especially recently.
No, their animated
not that they've
films are
been
always like on point, but just they can't
the animated
do
ones are
anything good with
much better track
the live
record.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of funny that this is one of the better ones because, like, yeah, we've had like Superman attempts. I guess the original Wonder Woman was pretty good. 84, I like more than most, but there are issues, and most people who dislike it when they bring up their points, I'm like, you have a point. But yeah, even at the end of the day, like I'd probably say I prefer this one to either Wonder Woman movie. So it's kind of a competition there. Yeah, this is I'd say one of the better DC movies. I'd definitely say the Suicide Squad was better than this, and I'm sure if we go back in time, there's definitely the Nolan movies.
Superman
like
2
like
it isn't better than this. Superman 2 is still one of the best DC movies ever made.
Well, are we talking about the original or director's cut?
Donner's cut.
Okay, Donner's
yeah, of course, Donner's cut, man.
Yeah.
The Batman, the Batman was good. Chandler, yes.
Oh, Batman. Oh, the Batman. I wasn't thinking of the Batman.
89 is good too.
Yeah. Okay, so Batman might throw a kink in my argument because that one was really good. And that might be better than this one.
But this one, but that also
this is the best DC movie since the Batman.
Well, that one also takes place outside of like that Man of Steel universe and everything.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like when they were writing this, they intended it to be like that, but like since obviously they've had some time to tinker with it, they've kind of separated it, so it references other superheroes, but it's not like definite. Not like the Shazam movies were. No.
Like they said, Flash is in Silver City, Batman Metropolis, Batman Gotham, and Superman Metropolis.
Yeah. They brought up those guys, but they don't say they don't say any specific exploits they did or anything.
It's not like Shazam where we see clippings, or we see the actual like Batwing, like Ben Affleck's Batarang. Yeah, nothing like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is a Batman 89, still my all-time favorite for sure. Batman 89, just for a raw aesthetic level, is kind of fantastic. I know we rewatched that, I think, last year, and aesthetically,
we did.
Tim Burton nailed that movie.
We rewatched the first 4, I think, leading up to the Batman.
Yes, the Batman. That's right. That's what we were doing.
I think you were saying, you would ask me if I want to watch just the first 2 Tim Burtons, and I have to pick a Joel Schumacher. I was like, well, we can't get through one without the other. We could just pick one of the Nolans to watch.
Well, no, Well, actually, I asked you, do you want to do the Nolans or do you want to do the old school ones? And
that's an old school.
Old school. Yeah.
Old school.
But yeah, Blue Beetle. Like I said, this movie's bombing. If you want to see a fun superhero movie,
check it out.
It's a good one. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Worth it.
I mean,
anything you want to add, Bobby?
Just more about Batman Returns, where he totally killed a guy. He totally.
He kills a lot of people in 89.
He stuck dynamite to a dude and throw him down a hole. He killed that man.
And you know what else he did? He stuck dynamite to him, and then he smiled at him.
Yeah, he did. Well, he couldn't turn his head. That's why. No.
Yeah. Just like, shit.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that until we rewatched it. I was like, oh, he killed him.
Yeah.
But Blue Beetle, check it out.
Yeah, but Blue Beetle doesn't kill people. Check it out.
No, he actually doesn't. He actually doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's actually, I like that dynamic because I'm kind of glad I brought that up because there's that great dynamic where the suit is like, let's go on autopilot, and it's like ready to start killing people. And Hamey's like, no, do not kill people.
I do
And
not
then
kill
at
people.
the end, Amy's
The
just
suit is
so
even like,
filled with rage.
whoa, hey, we don't do that, man. Remember?
Yeah. He's so filled with rage, like, we're gonna kill this fucker. And the suit's like, dude, you told me we don't do this. We're not doing this, okay? It's like,
Yeah.
wow, they're learning from each other. That's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, great. It's a very good movie. Go check that.
Absolutely.
Are ready for Assault on Precinct 13?
Oh yes, I'm ready to talk about some Carpenter.
Yeah, John Carpenter. Was this his first one, or did just
I want
early?
to say it was early, very early, because I know.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite his
after
first one, but
this
was like 2 years before Halloween. Yeah.
I believe this is something he made to help fund Halloween.
Possibly. Although Halloween
I think it was because of this, how well this performed, and something else gave him the go ahead, because I know he had full creative control of this one.
You can tell it feels like a John Carpenter
Yeah,
movie.
it feels like a Carpenter movie. Like when I was talking to you before I went to go see Blue Beetle, how I had watched this right before going to see Blue Beetle. I was like, well, I know one thing: the score, no matter how cool Blue Beetle that score will be, it won't top Carpenter.
Oh yeah, well you could tell this is such a John Carpenter score too.
Well, when it started in the opening credits, I was like, I wonder if he did this. It totally sounds like him. And then just music by John. Yes, there it is. Music by John Carpenter. I can tell.
Okay, it looks like it's probably his like 6th movie, so he was busy.
Okay.
Oh wait, some of these are short, so maybe it varies, but yeah.
Might be his first feature length.
Maybe.
Studio.
But yeah, I remember I actually saw the remake of this before I saw the original. It was the remake that kind of made me want to check this one out, because the remake's decent. But yeah, this is just pure John Carpenter goodness. Basics. Well, I mean, the basic story is essentially just we have this old a police precinct that's closing down.
They're about to get they're shutting down. They have like a small staff of just like a receptionist and maybe 1 or 2 cops.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're just shutting down.
Yeah,
and then
packing up.
and then they end up with a couple of cops come by with a criminal, and they're like, hey, we need to stash him here for a little bit. And they're like, but we're shutting down. It's like, he'll be fine. We're just going to stash him here.
Yeah, they have to stop stash 2 prisoners because one is feeling really sick. So they took him, I believe, to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And did you notice some of the familiar faces in this from the first Halloween?
I noticed the woman. What was her name? Nancy Loomis.
Yeah, she played Mandy. She played Annie Brown.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and did you also notice the guy who played her father was like the warden who was on the police bus?
Oh,
that was Sheriff Brackett.
Was that? I was about to say, was that Charles Cypher?
Yeah. That was Charles Brackett. God. Yeah, or no, Chief Brackett. I thought it was like, awesome. Hey, all right, cool. But it starts off with that, and then it ends with it begins what starts the assault while these prisoners are in transit and they're being kept there. We see a guy on the phone or on a payphone, a relic, but he's on the payphone, and his kid is asking him because she sees an ice cream man. There's gangsters driving all over town because we established earlier that it's pretty much a very crime-ridden area, and these gangsters kill this ice cream man. After he gives the little girl ice cream, she goes back saying, hey, she wanted something different. I think it was chocolate and vanilla when he just gave her vanilla. Gangster, without hesitation, shoots the kid and then shoots the guy again. I did not
remember that at all.
I forgot about that, and I'm like, oh, they're showing that. Oh,
yeah, no, okay. She just gets shot, and you're like, oh, that just happened. Holy shit!
Yeah, back in the 70s, where they weren't afraid to do that. Oh
Well, I
yeah,
mean, they'll do
and
it now, but they're just not that many R-rated action movies.
they
I feel
won't
like.
show it. They won't show
Yeah.
it like they did in
Well,
this.
PG-13 won't show it.
Well, PG-13 used to get away with nudity and at least 2 F-bombs. Now I think
Yeah,
you
now
only
you
get.
get your
Now I
one
think you only
F-bomb.
get.
Yeah.
Now you just get your one in a PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and so the dad
But
chases
this is an
down.
R. But yeah.
He kills the guy who shot his kid, and then
Mhm.
he gets chased by the rest of the gang members, and he runs into the police station.
Yeah.
And these gang members somehow, which we see is like 4 or 5 of them, keep multiplying and
Yeah. It's they're like it's just
keep
like a
shooting up the station.
it almost kind of remind me of like video game logic where like if you
Yeah,
move to the
they kept
wrong part of the
spawning in.
screen, they'll just respawn. They'll just respawn. And yeah, they do this
Totally.
thing. They put like a cholo in front of the police station. They just decide they don't care. They're going to kill everybody inside. And the only people inside at that point were the father, um, the 2 secretaries, 1 cop, and 2 prisoners. And yeah, they eventually let the prisoners out, give them guns, and say, we're all in this together at this point. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole movie. Well, that's the rest of the movie because it's a whole siege. This is definitely something I'd recommend if you're a John Carpenter fan, and who isn't, this is definitely something worth checking out.
I've heard
This is
a lot.
actually
I know.
Oh.
I've heard Edgar Wright actually say that he believes this is Carpenter's best film.
I won't go that far, but I will say it's good. It's good.
It's good, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's not my favorite of his, but it's up there in favorites. It's probably Edgar Wright's favorite.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think what would be my favorite John Carpenter. Big Trouble in Little China is a lot of fun, but also like The Thing is just amazing.
The Thing is good. They Live is pretty great. And that's very
They Live is pretty
straightforward.
great, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd rank that as one of his best either. But
I
They
just
Live
rank it
is
high
great.
because of Roddy Piper.
I know. Like after that movie, I'm like, how did Rowdy Piper not have a bigger career? Because he did a great job in that movie.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, I wouldn't recommend checking out some of his older wrestling promos. There's one that's where he paints half of his face black and does like a half promo by doing this and then that, talking in different voices for it. It's not on the network now, but it doesn't age well.
What? Well, I will say this bring it back to this movie. This movie has aged fairly well.
Yeah,
obviously it's a bit more limited budget, but John Carpenter knew how to handle that type of stuff, and he just made a suspenseful action movie where outside of the one secretary, I kind of liked all the main characters inside the precinct. I mean, obviously
even
the one criminal kind of, but I even kind of liked him.
Yeah, I kind of like both of them, even though he was a little slimy.
Yeah, even the slimy.
He never got his cigarette.
I get it. Yeah. Well, even though he was slimy, he never actually went there. He never was really that bad. So it was kind of okay. And then the whole story ends up almost being like a friendship movie between the cop and the main criminal, which is kind of an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it was interesting how that played out.
Yeah. It's like, we're going to walk out of the precinct together. It's like, okay. I will say I was a little disappointed with the ending because it just kind of felt like all hell was breaking loose and then it was resolved.
Police showed up and everything was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how else you end it, but I wanted a bit more of a climax because it's essentially it's just a really good movie and then it ends.
Well, if you think about it, this is also one that he wrote too, and I don't know if he and Deborah Hill tackled it together, but I know she worked on the film. That was another name I recognized in the crew. Also, Tommy Wallace, who was the director of photography on this. Yes. He also was the director of photography in Halloween.
Yeah, and the director of Halloween 3. Underrated movie, by the way.
And also the inspiration for Tommy Doyle's character name.
Sure. Yeah, I
kid
can
that
see
Lori,
that.
no, the kid that Lori babysat. Yeah, no, they wrote him Tommy.
Yeah,
just
the
because
kid
the
that
author-
grew up to be Ant-Man and beat the shit out of Michael Myers. I remember that.
yeah, became Paul Rudd. And well, it depends on what cut you watch. Depends on what cut of that you watch.
That's true. That's true.
There is the producer's cut. But oh man, this was very good, and I'm happy that this was my pick for this week. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it was
like I said, you can never go wrong with some John Carpenter.
yeah, no, and I do like actually doing picks because I feel like we've been doing lots of stuff where just here's a new thing, here's a new thing. Let's do some picks, and that will be the advantage of the strikes going on right now. Oh yeah, officially this is the longest dual strike ever. So
Yeah.
yay! The last one lasted just over a month. Actors have been strike for about a month and a week now. Yeah, we'll see how long it goes. Studios are holding out.
I'm seeing like more snippets of different like high profile people making statements and like at speeches and rallies and everything, or like just protest groups out front of studios and everything.
Mhm.
I think the most recent one I saw was Bryan Cranston calling out Disney CEOs. I didn't read or watch the full clip, but
That's right. I need to watch that because I've heard that thing is incredibly based. But yeah, we'll probably do more picks if the strike continues much longer.
yeah, but
wonder
that's
at
a
what
good thing
point
because there's a
they'll-
lot of movies that are out there that we could talk about, ones that we haven't seen or
Absolutely.
even thought about. Yeah,
Hell,
so
we're behind on Star Trek movies too, so we need to finish that series.
we are. We are.
But yeah, Assault on Precinct 13, excellent movie. If you're a fan of John Carpenter at all, check this out. It's actually free on YouTube with ads. So,
and they're actually not that irritating. Not like your normal 20 or 30-minute videos.
It's not like Paramount Plus. It's like actual just like YouTube ads, so you can skip a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you want to add, Bobby?
No, I mean, yeah, Carpenter knocked it out of the park with this one. Great score.
Mhm.
I can't.
Oh
his
yeah,
score was just so good. That's really just the only point I had left with this.
oh yeah. The like. There's something
He
about John
created-
Carpenter electronic score that I just love. It's like so
it
cheesy and
creates this-
simplistic, but
it-
awesome.
But it creates a great atmosphere too.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
I mean,
yeah, we know. Yeah, he creates a really great atmosphere, and it also works to building suspense too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just something so simplistic but like brilliant with his scores that it's great.
There's a reason why I've heard him called the master of suspense.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, Equalizer.
Yes.
Yes, the movie remake of the British TV series, I believe. This was definitely kind of in the vein of, although it came quite a few years later, it was kind of still at the tail end of like the Taken vein, where like every single guy who was a bit older in age was doing an action movie. And this was Denzel Washington's essentially version of that. And I will say, I personally, I think it's one of the better ones. What do you think, Bobby?
I'm a fan of these art type of stories. I enjoy them. I guess it's not quite a good, not really like a revenge story, but more of just like a justice and retribution.
Yes, very much justice.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite in this genre of films is like the first Death Wish movie with Charles Bronson, which the remake is not that great, but that's not Bruce's fault.
Oh yeah, the Bruce Willis version. I remember watching.
But I'll be
it.
honest,
It was,
when that Taken trend was happening, and like how you said,
Yeah.
I was worried that Death Wish was going to be remade.
mhm.
I was really worried about it because I didn't want them just to ruin like what I thought was a great movie. This one I did really enjoy quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. And I did get that Taken, not like a copycat Taken, but for the most part, like they're matching a lot of similar beats to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think part of the reason why Taken was so great was just because Liam Neeson can carry that role, like in his sleep.
Just Liam Neeson. Just Liam Neeson alone.
And I think that's also why this works too, because Denzel Washington can also carry that role quite
Denzel
easily.
Washington, yeah. I kind of forget how much I. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say what I like about this too is like, well, obviously, like if you're OCD, here's your OCD action hero. Holy crap, this guy is he's got an order to things. Yes,
Meticulous.
very meticulous. But what I like about this is Denzel, like the character Robert McCall, like you see kind of like how he has friendships, and he just works at essentially a Home Depot, Lowe's variant type place. And he just has friends, and he honestly has great relationships with people. He talks to a lot of people, he gets to know a lot of people. But he also has this edge to him that you slowly develop as you watch. Until he gets that first action scene, which actually is it's not like super late in the movie, but like it's a decent way in. They make you wait for that first action scene where he just kind of demolishes that room of 5 guys, of the 5 pimps, essentially, which is pretty awesome.
That was fucking great.
Well, one of the great things about that is that like he didn't mess around. Like if you're watching that scene, like the main guy behind the desk that had the 4 bodyguards in front of him, I think he was the second one to die, because obviously that was his goal. Yeah.
As soon as he got his hands on the gun, that guy was gone.
Yeah, and then like
the rest was just
bodyguards after that.
Yeah, because I think he took out the one dude to his left. Then the guy with the gun got up and he took out the boss.
Yeah.
And then disposed of the other 2. Fought the dude with the knives, killed him. Corkscrews first, and then the knife, and then the shot glass. Then he went and sat next to the boss as he slowly died.
Yeah.
Told him what was happening to his body.
Well, I guess we're kind of jumping ahead. So essentially, he does make friends with an underage prostitute that's working, and these guys are the pimps for her, and they're apparently unhappy with her, so they beat the shit out of her to make an example of her. And then he essentially just goes to the office, and he actually goes there fairly peacefully. He goes there for almost $10,000 and says, "Here, I'm just buying her out. She doesn't work for you again. We called this a day." And they pretty much just laugh in his face. And then like he goes through and kills them all. And then he sits next to the boss as he's dying, and he says, "Hey, you could have just walked out this $10,000 richer, but now you're dying."
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And these guys end up having these guys end up being like gangsters attached to some Russian mafia. And they got more people all over the East Coast, so more people flock to Boston and try to fight him. David Harbour's in this. I did not know that.
I forgot he was in this. He popped up and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's in this." And like this is before like Stranger Things.
And he's like a bad guy in this. He is a bad guy.
Yeah, but last thing before Stranger Things, after Stranger Things, he almost gets like random good guy roles, lots of supporting good guy roles. Before that, like you pay attention, like he's getting lots of supporting bad guy roles. He's lots of villains here and there.
Would you say Santa was a good guy? Where he played Santa?
Well. I actually, he was a very good guy. He
was. I mean,
he slaughtered a lot of people with that hammer.
He did kill a lot of people with that hammer.
I'm gonna have to pick up a copy of that movie for next Christmas because we got to watch that.
That was great. That was so good.
So I think we're getting tangled with our
awesome
we
are.
Yeah,
but no, this was actually very good. I really liked the end sequence in the hardware store with all the power out and the lights out. And all that was great.
Those traps. Yeah. The only thing I would say, almost like it sounds like Precinct 13, there's like a main antagonist here that pops up, and like the two of them have some great exchanges back and forth, but like when it builds up to the final fight between them, it ends up just essentially being Robert just shooting him, and it's over. there's not much to that final fight.
With a nail gun.
Yeah. No, I
With
mean,
a nail gun. I think we want to
he
add
takes him
that.
out very painfully. But yeah, there's. I was
also-
hoping for a bit more, but yeah.
He also took a drill bit to the back of some dude's head.
Dude, that was wild. Like, at first you see something pointed at the back of his neck, and at first my brain is like, oh, that's a gun. Then you see the light shine over it. It's like, that's a drill. Zzz. Holy
No, as soon as I saw, like,
shit.
oh, that's this is gonna be nasty.
Yeah. No, this is very much an R-rated movie. Blue Beetle is the only PG-13 movie here. Like, everything else is pretty heavy R.
Pretty heavy violence this week.
Yeah. Very, very bloody violence. Yeah.
Yeah. I also liked him taking out the head oligarch. I like
yes,
how he
there's
handled
bit
that.
at the end, yeah.
Where he just electrocuted him.
I would say my only issue with that was actually I didn't like how he walked away because electrocution's not super reliable.
I think he was banking for the fact of it being a tile floor that he would maybe do that shock, fall back, and maybe
potentially, but yeah.
I don't know. I know that there's
I mean,
a 3 coming out, so maybe that's what 2 is about. He lived.
I know. If I remember
this.
correctly, 2 is just kind of its own thing again.
Okay,
but I remember not too super fond of 2. But maybe I'll enjoy it on the rewatch. Like I remember not disliking it. I think I worked for the newspaper when that movie came out. Did I write I'm certain I wrote a review of that. Out of curiosity. Hold on. Google searching live.
That happens. You know, Rogan does it all the time. Or he pays someone to do it.
Yeah. Let's see. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I don't remember it much. I remember he works for Lyft. So, yeah. The Equalizer 2 is the best movie I've seen in the past month outside of Ant-Man and the Wasp. That says less about the quality of the film, more about the low quality of the past few weeks. Maybe I'll enjoy it more on the rewatch.
Breaking news. Trump to turn himself into Fulton County Jail Thursday for booking on election fraud charges.
Oh. I am wondering if you will actually pay any penalty.
I know that the bond was set at $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
He plans to turn himself in Thursday afternoon for booking at Fulton County Jail in Atlanta on charges for trying to overturn the 2020 election. You think Arizona's going to go after him too?
Possibly.
I hope so.
I think the more the merrier.
Yes, that is from USA Today.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Well, I guess there's anything you want to add to Equalizer?
No, that was it. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the first time watching these. So yeah.
Yeah. So well, next week we got Equalizer 2. We got Lower Deck Season 1, and then we got the first half of Wheel of Time Season 1. I'm hoping Wheel of Time is better. Like, I never finished Season 1 because I wasn't super thrilled with it, but I'm hoping I'm hoping that one's better on the rewatch too.
Wheel of Time. What's that on?
Amazon.
Okay.
And then Equalizer 2 I have reserved at the library, so I can get that set up easy.
All right.
But anything you want to add, Bobby?
No, that's all.
Okay. Before we sign out, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, smash that bell. Just smash them to smithereens. No matter what channel you're on, make sure to do it at Organized Chaos Podcast, and Bobby Quarters. Get all of them. Smash the shit out of those bells. Just smash them to bits. Destroy them.
Absolutely.
Get notified for new content. And then we will be back next week.
Yes.
Everyone, have a good one.
Take care.
It'll take a moment.